Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. I'm sitting in my window seat in a desperate scrabble for some light. My poor camera, I don't know, it seems to have really struggled recently with focus. And I'm assuming it's because of low light, but then I have filmed in the evening before. I don't know. Maybe my camera can no longer cope with my face. So yeah, we're in for a run of really overcast, dark days. I'm just looking, I can just see over the rooftops. There's a sort of a ridge of hills about, I think they're about 10 miles away from me. They're shrouded again today in a fog or a mist. Oh, I've looked this up so many times and it just won't stay in my head. Paul was mentioning it again about a week or so ago on his week from the plot, about what is the difference between mist and fog. And you have to be careful how you say it, don't you? And what I seem to remember is one rises and one falls. So I think one is to do with warm air coming down, and as it's getting towards really cold earth, it condenses. Is that mist? But fog is when you've got warmer earth and cold air. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That it evaporates up out of the ground. But which one is which? I don't know. Anyway, I have to say, I've got a couple of local Facebook pages, and there's a couple of local photographers, and they share their work on these pages. And there's a really beautiful park near me, Crystal Palace Park, which some of you may have heard of, the Great Crystal Palace. Oh, imagine if that was still there. Anyway, digressing, but yeah, she's been producing some astonishingly beautiful photographs in the last few weeks. Well, since we went into December, really, because we've had so many mornings with this mist or fog, whichever way around it is. Anyway, that's by way of me saying, yeah, I'm sitting in the window seat trying to get a little bit of light, even though it's this really harsh winter light. It's that time of year definitely for trying to get out for half an hour in the middle of the day, to just try and get some light. Of course, not for vitamin D. The sun is just not strong enough in the UK between October and March to get any vitamin D benefit from it, besides the fact that we can't see it. But just to have that sense of, get out, have that big sky, have that space, have the light, whatever light there is. Yes. I don't know how much gardening will be happening in the next week or so, but I will certainly be trying to get out of here for at least part of each day for a bit of light. Oh, it's just so cosy indoors though, isn't it? Right, December the 13th. My goodness, time really is flying. Oh, we're over halfway. I've just realised. I'm going to miss my calendar when it's done. So, number 13, I'm not going to look. I'm just going to get my thumbnail under there. Open it to turn it around to you. What is it today? Let's have a look. Oh, it's another wise man making more offerings. And he's right next door to, can you see, the wise man, which was opened on the 4th. That's the only thing about calendars, isn't it? They kind of mark how quickly time is going. Honestly, it's been extraordinary, hasn't it, this year? Right then, let's pop you there for a second. So, oh, got it. Number 13, it's straddling donkey, ho, 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 tea. Right, let's pop you open. Now I'm going to give you the first glimpse. Can you see? I better do it this way, hadn't I? Otherwise I'm blocking the very light that I've come to the window for. Right, number 13. Much of our modern conception of Santa Claus comes from Clement Clarke Moore's famous 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. Well, it ain't that famous because I've never heard of it. I'm kidding. I think this is Clement Clarke Moore. I don't know Clement Clarke Moore at all. Never even heard of him. Clement. If it was a girl, it would be Clementine, wouldn't it? Oh, I love that name. Clementine. That's such a pretty name, isn't it? Okay, good. Never heard of... This is one of those scenarios, I think, where it shows that the calendar is American. I'm presuming Clement Clarke Moore is an American. I'm sure you will all let me know, correct me if I'm wrong. But yay for another thing that's completely new to me. So I've got no doubt that at some point today, I don't know when, but I'll do a quick little, I'll Googleify it and see if I can find a copy online of A Visit from St. Nicholas. So it says that it's much of our modern conception of Santa comes from that poem. Oh, you see, that's the other thing, isn't it? That this whole calendar, it's referring to him as Santa, whereas in the UK we tend to say Father Christmas. So, the modern conception of Santa, I wonder what they mean by that. I guess they mean the idea of this benevolent figure who visits us on Christmas Eve, either down the chimney or however that pickle Mr. Santa gets into our homes. Yeah, I'll go and have a little read of that. That'll be great. I haven't read poetry for ages. I used to love reading poetry. You know, I'm sure most of us are familiar with, say, the First World War poets. I think that's something that's very much on the agenda at schools, isn't it? I used to love Tennyson, Christina Rossetti, those very romantic, long poems. Love them. Yeah, definitely a romantic girl. Right then, my lovelies, I'm going to go and Googleificate that poem. So while I'm doing that, what are we doing today? Oh yeah, I think, why don't you pop down to the garden to see what I'm getting up to there? Off you go. Down to the garden. I'll see you there in a minute. Good morning, everybody. How are you all? You may start squeaking because you're buried amongst the cavallo. Because before I do anything else today, I want to have this one out. Rather like the parsnip a few weeks ago, this one has been winking at me for a few days. So I want to see if it's just been a tease or if there is something there. Because goodness knows, the carrots have been tricky this year. What have we got? What have we got? Hello? Oh my goodness. What a beauty. Oh, I'm so glad I've pulled you out today. You are coming home with me and you are going to become fasolada tonight. Yum, yum, yum. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. Right, now on with the proper jobs of the day. Oh, I'm so pleased with that carrot. My goodness. I've never had issues with carrots. Well, I've sometimes had issues with having to do 2 or 3 sowings, but I've never had issues in the past with just getting none. But I haven't got none this year. I've got at least 1. Brilliant. Okay, so now on with the main job for this session. Brassica curve. When I was editing the October tour, what am I talking about? December. I was sort of pointing out this beautiful cavallo on the end and then saying what a shame these in the middle have been pecked. But of course, what have I done with my blue pipes? I've created the perfect pigeon pecking perches. So of course they can just perch on the blue piping and lean over and peck. Likewise with the two beds of the seedlings either side, of course, because they're so low on the ground, the pigeons can just walk along and peck, peck, peck. So the main job today, get rid of the perches. No more perching on my plants, pigeons. So these can come out. Because like I said, I don't want to jinx myself, but I've generally not had issues with peckage previously. So these are going to come out of the cavallos. The cavallos are just going to now be as they are, just free and breezy, free and easy breezy. Then I can use this blue piping that I've just removed, pop it over one bed onto the seedlings, whack some enviromesh on them, and then likewise where I've got the water pipes over the kale and cauliflowers, I had to think then, hey Rusty, they can come off and they can come onto this bed. The only thing at this time of year is to weigh all the enviromesh down. There's no spare bricks anywhere because they're all holding cardboard. I'll think of something though. So let me get that done first. No, the other thing, before I get these guys covered, the two little lots of seedlings, I'm just going to top dress all the beds with some of the dried chicken pellets. This isn't the bag they come in. I decant them into this bag just to make them a bit more manageable, but that's how they look. So obviously at the moment they're all dried, so I can scatter them on the top. The ground is really, really wet at the moment, but give these a scatter and they'll gradually dissolve and go in to the ground, and it'll almost be like a sort of a slow release fertiliser for them. So yeah, I'll do that on all the brassica beds. Not a huge amount, just a little sprinkle. If you think about the sort of the timing of when they had the last bit of chicken poo, that was when the beds were actually being prepared to take the plants. So where are we? December, end of August, beginning of September. So most of the plants have already been in the ground for best part of 3 months, if not a bit more. So that initial batch of chicken poo that I put into the beds before the plants went in has almost certainly been used up by now. So yeah, chicken poo for all the brassica beds. Not forgetting the purple sprouting broccoli, of course, which is looking fine. I may also today do a quick top dressing of the garlic. I almost always top dress the garlic around about February. Yeah, I think I will do a dressing today because, like I say, we're so wet. I'm sure a lot of nutrients are getting washed down. It won't do them any harm anyway, put it that way. So yeah, let's fix this piping elsewhere and try to remember where I stashed the enviromesh when it all came off a couple of months ago. Right. You'll be in the way. They've taken an absolute hammering. Oh, poor things. Thing is, I shot such a noisy day. I won't give up on them. Of course not, because there's plenty of there is growth there, and I think it's just that thing of, you know, if I can stop the pigeons from pecking for long enough, they should recover. And yeah, they are little tiddlers, they're proper little tiddlers, but I'd rather have a load of tiddlers than absolutely nothing at all. And it's always that thing, isn't it, that, you know, I don't need this bed for anything else, so yeah, I might as well leave them in and see if they can come to something. What I have noticed as well, probably rain, foxes, I'm not sure, but a lot of the mulch has moved into the gutter where it doesn't need to be. So I'll just scrape it back up and over. Do you remember the cartoon? It was like an offshoot of Wacky Races with Dick Dastardly and Motley. Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon. I was always on the side of the pigeon. I always wanted the pigeon to escape. Parakeet on cue. So yeah, I'd like the pigeons to escape, but I'd just like them to stop feeding on my food. I've nabbed a couple of lengths of wood that were under the rose bush tree on that last bed that I haven't covered. Which way's the long way? The only thing with using them is that they're quite naily. I don't want to snag the environment and put holes in it, because it is expensive stuff, and if we look after it properly, it should last for years and years and years. Actually, I'm wondering, where have I got other nets? Oh, there's one just right in front of you, for example. I have these little pegs, they're fantastic. Little peg goes right into the ground, but then this top section, as you can see, it's got a kind of a curly lip. So as you push it into the ground, that catches your net and holds it really, really firm against the soil. So in theory, I should have some of these in the shed, because I haven't got many nets out at the moment. So yeah, I'll go and have a look. That would be better than using, well actually, I'll need it for that bed, because I doubt I'll have enough pegs to do 2 lots of netting, and that stick needs to be broken off. Right, thinking caps on of how else to weight it down. Well, let's get this side tucked in at any rate. I always think these kind of net doing days, I always think, oh, it'd be so much easier with another pair of hands. But at this time of year, there are very rarely another pair of hands around anywhere. You know what, it doesn't have to be perfect, beautiful, anything like that. It is purely to just keep the pigeons off. I think that will do, in fact. I've got a brick right here on the end I can nick. A broad beam brick. That should do it. Well, I'll do that side, but for now I think I'm just going to pop back into the shed to see if I can find a bunch of these other pegs. Oh, by the way, sorry, I don't know where you can buy these. They were being thrown away, and of course the second I saw them I thought, yeah, they're way too good to throw away, I'm having them. Brilliant. Right, yeah, let's go find some more. Yes, good. I found a load more pegs. So that's all. The brassicas are all tucked up again, and hopefully that will thwart the pigeons. I was going to show you around out there, but the tree surgeons, oh, breath. Yeah, the tree surgeons have started up again. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Some days down here are so beautifully quiet and just listen to the birds. Other days, life goes on. But yes, that's all done. Great, another job ticked. You're right, buddy. And also, let's face it, coming back in here, get to have a little cuddle, don't we, buddy? You probably can't hear his purrs today over the sound of the tree surgeons. So, it's getting quite chilly. The light's going a bit, but I'm going to see if I can encourage myself to stay and at least start a job that's been outstanding for really quite some time. It's one of those jobs that keeps getting left till last, and by the time I get to it I think, oh, I just want to go home and have a hot bath. So today I'm going to see if I can make myself stay and at least start it. So there may be more of that another day. But for today, it's cheerio time from both me and Rusty. Are you off exploring for some food? I've just shut the door because of the noise. I was gonna open it. Now he's back up. Yes, it's cheerio from me and the marmalade boy. But we'll see. Well, I at least will see you tomorrow again for another calendar window opening. I wish you were seeing him tomorrow, because I wish you lived with me, buddy. I'd never get anything done though, can you imagine? I'd just be cuddling all day. Right, that's it. Please look after yourselves, look after each other. If you've got the opportunity, no, Rusty, don't jump. He's gonna jump. Crash, ready for the crash? There's just no space up there because I've got all my geraniums, my pelargoniums. Well, not all of them. Oh, that's just made me think of something else. But yeah, there's pelargoniums, there's 2 big baskets of onions because I didn't have any foliage left for stringing them. That's my cup. I just had a glass of water. I think it's time for me to go and do some more cuddling. Keep this one out of mischief. So, see you all tomorrow for a bit of advent calendar time. Bye for now.